Hello and welcome to Grassroots TV. My name is John Bruna and I'm with the Way of Compassion Foundation. It's with great honor that I have the opportunity to welcome the monks of Gaden Shartse Monastery. This is a famed monastery and the original monastery of the whole Gaelic order of Tibetan Buddhism. And here to my right, I have the Venerable Chophel, who is the translator for the tour. And if you'd be kind enough to introduce our guests and their names.
Yeah. In my right, the Gishi Chophel will be the our master during our tour. And this is Losong Tindrup, who will be the chant master. And this is Nyandak, who is our co-chant master. And I am Chamba Lopsang. Yeah.
So the monks have come all the way from India, from Gaden Shartse Monastery, and I understand that they've been traveling to the United States for almost 30 years now.
Yeah.
And we're going to do some questions and hopefully learn a little bit about your monastery. But we would like to ask, since we have this great group and this audience here from the Early Learning Center, we have the pre-K class that has come over to hear some chant. So I was going to ask if the monks wouldn't mind doing a short little chant with that very famous throat singing that you do.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
Number.
Start.
Yeah.
간단하게.
세진당으로.
Very good. Yeah. Now that's very special because usually when I've heard monks, they use the very low chanting, but with the high notes, that has a very special vibration. Thank you for sharing that with us. So the monks are in town here in Aspen for 1 week, and I understand you're making a sand mandala here at the Ute City Bank Building. Is that correct?
Yes.
Can you tell us what kind of mandala you're making and what its purpose is? Maybe we can ask Geshe.
더디 될려고 이기 또 미우더니 김고를 칼고를 샤이 미티고 칼고 저거
강주대 연구에做的 비게 자가나라 차와 동다칠라서 졸롬니 제디 롬니기 최외 튼킨치도 근데 김고 샤인데 잠배양한테다 싫어고 라선서 근데 루루만 보시도 어디게 로중 야르게다 티여야 편도 유양레버유스
we are from Gaden Shartse Monastery, and they have one foundation, or Gaden Shartse Culture Foundation, which is non-profit organization, and we are here to show our unique culture and to create Sun Mandala. We are going to do Sun Mandala about the Manjushri, which is Buddha wisdom. Because we choose this mandala because there are a lot of school children, and especially the like young, to learn something more. That's why the Manjushri is the Buddha wisdom. He can keep power to learn something more. Now, that's why we choose the mandala of Manjushri, and we have more than 1,000 monks in India, and that we will. Give them education and healthcare and shelter and food, etc. And that's why we here to raise fund for this 1,000 monks, and they've been coming all the way from Tibet to India to study and keep their religious culture and alive, because in Tibet we have no right to do these all things because of Chinese government. So we come to learn this all unique culture to India, and our monastery have 1,000 monks, and we have to give shelter to them and give food, education, etc.
Okay, so for those of you who are not aware, the monastery is now located in a refugee settlement in India, and this is where you're keeping the Tibetan culture alive.
Yeah.
So you're here on behalf of 1,000 monks, and you travel the United States. How long is your tour going to be?
다고메동달라 단다 쫄레네 조야게 뒤져단데 체시체나다 로니 게된다가자 체시체네 조야인 스타디 로니게 체시데다 비게 벽 단남베 릭숑 로동자 니라지 관계다 릭숑님부시 등상 점물링 미망불 편도 요거지 딩안저 비게 징유체데니 다보자데니 망부셔로 등수체도
At the moment we have 2 years to go to all over the United States to this tour, and because here we come here to raise fund for these monks, and we know that it's very, very helpful that the teaching of Buddha to the whole whole world, they are very, very useful, and that's why we keep this unique culture to have all peace and harmony over all the interfaith, and that's why our main goal to preserve this unique culture, and that's why we come here and make some fund and to continue this work.
So you'll be traveling for 2 years, and so there's 6 of you that were picked. So you'll be working for 2 years, traveling city to city all across the United States. That sounds like a lot of work.
Yeah.
How were each of the monks selected to help and be on the tour?
이제 된다 처음 주 담으러 왔을 때 담당 간대 담으러 아니 간대진이 찍기기 또 단도 간대를 스키지도
알렌다 나도 디나려야 다 차와들이야 내가 니여와 기시다 디 오만 디 비게 곰베 다 레지도 촌도 촌네 어느 망두게 두스담 기시디들이야 근저 곰베 레지다 두야 부구체네 엔도스 치고 열었어
We have been selected that we have all been a monk more than 20 years. So we have quite senior position in our monastery, and we have selected because the Kishila is a very well-known master, and the monastery, the authorities, they request him to go to United States to do some performing some healing and blessing, this kind. And also the chant master, he is a very old, how to say, very quite famous in our monastery. All of us were requested by our administration to go to United States and do some performing and show our unique culture, and to do Saint Mandela, and that we can make some money. Yeah.
Okay, so it sounds like you were each selected based on your abilities out of 1,000 monks, and
Yes.
and the chant master is very well known, has a wonderful voice.
Yeah.
And Geshe-la, Geshe means it's a degree, right, that someone earns, and a Larampa Geshe is a different type of degree, and there's different levels of Geshe. Can you tell us a little bit about Geshe and what it takes to become a Geshe?
다 기시 차오라 당분간도 미네야 랍다 롱아서 팀 대룬진도에 차단차네 아니 신이 단에 신이 디어와다 숑징아라 야 뇽들라 차상소소 나로리아 로종락스 로종체 조조단 디찬네 아니 디 기루기우드 로투 신데 다 기루 용서도 이래 어디 냠도 로투 조조단 아니 로투 규트베이나 아니 사람 기시스 차요르스.
And Gishi, they have you can say two types, Gishil Haramba or non-Gishil Haramba.
Okay.
And Gishil Haramba is the highest Gishi degree in our monastery, which is equivalent to the PhD in the United States. And it takes almost 25 years to do all these degrees.
25
And,
years.
yes.
So just so you guys hear that, 25 years of going to school,
Yeah.
right?
And at the beginning, we have to memorize all these tracks. Then after that, we have to learn all this philosophy, 5 texts, and then we have to do examination with other monasteries, and it takes 6 or 7 years. And after that, we get a Gishi Haramba degree, which is very hard to have a title of Geshe.
Yeah, so that's very few that get to be a Larampa Geshe. So Geshes, I guess your schooling is 6 days a week, right?
Yeah.
And you have debate,
Yes.
so you have to debate in order to pass. That's very impressive. So our PhDs don't take 25 years. So that's 6 days a week, 25 years, and a lot of work, memorization, and debate. That's very impressive. We're very honored to have you here, Geshe-la. And so on the sand mandalas, I understand that they're about 4 feet, and they're very elaborate. Does it take a lot of training to learn how to do a sand painting like that, a sand mandala?
Yeah, it took a very, very long time to learn these old, little tiny, like arts, We have to make of sand and a lot of, colorful. And actually, they have a different type of mandalas. And today, we are studying the Manjushri mandala. And yeah, it's quite, how to say, it's very hard, we can hold all the breath and to do very tiny things, how to say, concentrate a lot in this.
Yeah, if you've never seen any of that, that is one of the most elaborate art skills. They create a 4-foot sand painting with very minute detail, sometimes just a grain of sand. It has multiple colors. It's really something else to see. And at the end, when it's all completed, how long will you work on it?
We have 5 days.
5 days.
Yes.
So you'll be working 5 days on this, and then what happens at the end?
In the end, we will dissolve all the mandala, and we offer some of the audience a little bit to put on their field and their house around it to cleanse all the house. And in the end, we take all these sand to the river to dissolve and to put on the river.
So at the end of 5 days of hard work, you guys do a blessing and just sweep it up.
Yes, yes.
Here in the United States, we think that's crazy sometimes. But after all that work, I guess it's in permanence, right?
Yeah.
You just sweep it up, and then that sand's very blessed, you
Blessed,
say?
yeah.
So everyone who comes will receive a small bag of that very blessed sand. You hand it out.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, and the rest goes in the river
Yeah,
for the
yeah.
blessings
Yeah.
to go. Wow, that's something else. If you've never seen it, I've seen some sand mandalas, and they're just really incredible. And you're at the Ute City Bank Building, right, doing that sand mandala. Now, as you travel, what are the things that, I know the Dalai Lama, His Holiness, has blessed the tours and is happy to have monks come to the U.S. What is it that, Geshe-la, that you would like to be able to, what message or teaching that you would like to be able to help us here in the United States with? How is the U.S. going to benefit from monks coming?
How was it?
같이 벗으면서
먼저 들려니 다직 지원기 어리용이 메만솔로 다직 편도 최슈됐다. 그러시 디거는 히로시스.
네. 다 아리롱바에 벤조 이야기하시네. 벤조 근에서 도시나로 이날에 나 미망부지 심랑암라다 심라야 다 시디메 시라메오시네. 바디 심기 시디데 벤조가네 마이마지 다 로동다 니라스지 그거네 여대베 리준 남배 취나네 다 참만닝지 근데 냠린 체네 아니 심내 시디 토야티 겨울음지 거두는 송고로 와다디 간주에 마 아리메만들 마시네 베지 펜도 연투레스.
And in United States, the material are very, very rich, and still there are a lot of people that have a inner peace problem. We have not lack of inner peace, and so His Holiness the Dalai Lama always said that inner peace should come from herself. So then he says that he will have we all have that United States, all the people that will suffering, suffering and lack of peace of mind, and they will we will help that to have a good peace mind, and that's all.
Yeah, we could all use some inner peace. So
Inner peace.
apparently it doesn't matter how big your house is or how fancy your technology is, you still can get stressed and frustrated and have a little anger in life. So hopefully some of these teachings on inner peace and compassion, that would be wonderful if you can share those with us. Now I notice these youngsters here, we have pre-K class. And how young are monks? Do you ever have young monks in your monastery, or how old are monks when they come to the monastery?
And monastery or youngest monk would be 5 years old.
Wow, about the same
Yes,
age
yeah,
as
same
these
age,
ones.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
So some come in as young as 5 and they grow up in the monastery.
yeah, the Korab monastery then.
Okay. Can I ask how old each of you were when you became a monk?
I was 9 when I
9?
was young. Yeah, 기시다가 저지
18.
18. Okay, 18.
저지 들어가서 14.
14?
6.
6.
Yeah.
So 6, 9. So youngest
Yeah,
there.
youngest, yeah.
So he was about your age when he came into the monastery and became a monk. So you grew up in the monastery. That must be a very special life.
Yeah.
So I also wanted to ask, you did a high chant with the high notes. Maybe if you could share with the children and our audience here some of that low chanting with the throat,
Yeah.
singing that's really low. Do you have a short chant that you could share with all of us with that multiphonic chant?
Okay. 먼저 다 도망이 왔던 스타팅디 컨디 가르르 왔던 데서 땡기 스티치.
저게 잡히나. 어떻게
가르르 소리 하는 게.
아.
나도 못해서.
Now, you'll be in Aspen this week. You're doing a San Mandela and a few other events. If people want to learn more, I believe they go to aspentibet.com. And after Aspen this week, you're going to Grand Junction and then to Carbondale. So this is your first stop, I understand. This is the first place, and you've been coming to Aspen now over 20 years. So we're really happy to have you here in the Valley. Now the monks do, and in addition to San Mandelas and events that they do, cultural programs and teachings and blessings and empowerments, I know they do home and business blessings. And if they want to learn, if anyone out there would like to have them to do a blessing or come and learn more, aspentibet.com. And also your website, I believe, is Gaden Shartse culturalfoundation.org. That's a mouthful. Gaden Shartse culturalfoundation.org, and I think that people can learn more about you and the monks. The mandala we're having in town, you can come in, I believe, all day from about, is it 8 to 5 or something like that? Okay, I'm asking off camera here to find out what the hours are. So from 8 to 5, we'll be working on the San Mandela. There'll be some evening events if you'd like to learn more at aspentibet.com or finish their website. And please feel free to come and meet the monks. It's always a joy, a real honor. The monks are very friendly and they like to interact with us. And as I've said, for 20 years they've been coming here to Aspen, and it's been a joy. And we really want to thank the pre-K class here, all 5-year-olds, who are coming and being so very good. Do you have a question? Maybe we have time for a question here. Do you have a question for the monks?
There's one more people that's not 5, and it's Mackenzie.
Oh, you're just letting us know one person's not 5. Okay. Do any of you have a question for the monks? Let's start with the hat. Yes.
I know all about moons, and I watched the movie of them before. But also, do you do this?
Yes, that's when they say their prayers. They put their hands together. It's a form of prostration, and sometimes they'll chant with that as well, saying their prayers. And one more question there in the back. Yes, you've been very patient.
How much monks are there?
Well, there are 6 monks that are traveling on the tour, and as the translator, Jampala here, indicated, there's over 1,000 monks at the monastery. So over 1,000 monks, and they go to school 6 days a week. Wow, they have 1 day off. And we've got time for one more question if there's anyone else out there. Yes? Oh, a little shy with the question? Okay. Oh, yes?
Yeah, why I really like it when the monks are here is because they're very kind and nice.
Oh, that's wonderful. You like it when
And they share things with me.
You like it when the monks are here because they're kind, they're nice, and they share things with us. And we're all honored to have them here because they share a great deal of compassion, kindness, love, and generosity with us. So I'd like to thank all of you for coming and for sharing your blessings here with the Valley and with all of us one more time. Tashi Dale.
Thank
Tashi
you.
Dale.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you.